I'm going to get you to start by taking a really nice long deep breath in, really fill up those lungs and hold it. Now slowly exhale, that's great. So hypnotherapy is the therapy we do once we have a client into hypnosis. Now hypnosis is the bypass of the critical factor of the conscious mind. It's that critical judgment part of the conscious mind, and to establish selective thinking. And once we have that, then we do the therapy. And what therapy we do in hypnosis is hypnotherapy. Just over 7 years now. Yeah, I practice in Melbourne. I worked in a full-time clinic on the Mornington Peninsula, and then just recently moved up to the Gold Coast to practice up here. So hypnotherapy works by taking someone into a trance state, and we do that by using an induction, which can be anything from eye fixation to a progressive muscle relaxation, instant induction, rapid induction. These are all ways to bypass the critical factor and then to establish selective thinking. Once we have that, then we can start doing the therapy. So it works. It's very important to understand how it works, is to understand how the mind works. When we have three different separate minds, and they have a hard time relating and communicating with each other. First, we have the conscious mind, and that's where we spend most of our time, like where we are now. Then below that level of awareness, we have something called the subconscious mind. And yet, even further deeper down, we have what we call the unconscious mind, which really does two things. It looks after our strength, our weakness, our immune system, and eyes blinking, things like that. But the conscious mind only does four things. It's the analytical part, which analyses particular situations and tries to find a way to solve those particular things that are bothering us. Then we have the rational part of the conscious mind, and that tries to make rational sense of why we do certain things or behave in a certain way. Then we have our willpower, and we all know what willpower is. That's like, I'm not going to eat that chocolate cake. That lasts until our behaviour pattern comes in from the subconscious mind and takes over. Then we have our working memory, and that's our memory, how do I get home? How do I get to work? What's my phone number? Things like that. And then we have the subconscious mind, and that's where we work with hypnosis. So the subconscious mind is the emotional part of the mind. So that's where we hold all our good emotions, our bad emotions like guilt, shame, jealousy, all those things, which we can actually go down in hypnosis, and we can take someone back to an event in their childhood and find out through emotions or through regression. We can bring up different parts of the mind, and we can find out if there's disagreement with parts, and we can sort that out if there's a conflict. Or we can give direct suggestion to change a behaviour pattern like smoking or nail biting and things like that. So hypnosis is it's a very interesting thing of what we can actually do with hypnotherapy and how it works. So it's about getting into that deeper level mind in that computer system and find out what's going on for the person and why they're having that particular issue. And once we find out what the particular issue is, then we can resolve that particular issue with different types of therapy in hypnosis. No. Hypnosis is about as far from sleep as we're ever going to get. Hypnosis is, it's a heightened state, it's a learning state. Once we go into hypnosis, what happens is we bypass that critical factor. And this is where there's a few misconceptions around what hypnosis is. So what happens is the conscious mind comes down and becomes more alert. It sort of comes down to protect you, because once the suggestion goes in there for change, it must happen. Once we get a suggestion into that computer, change happens. So it comes down and blocks. And when we go into hypnosis, we come about 300 to 400% more alert. So we can hear better, we can see better, we feel stronger, we're more imaginative. So it's a high learning state when we're in hypnosis. So it's about as far from sleep as you're ever going to get. You actually can't take someone into hypnosis and then to sleep. You actually got to take them to hypnosis, bring them back out, then they can go to sleep. It's virtually on the opposite end of the scale. You can use hypnosis for almost anything, because most things are psychosomatic. Even with pain, it's not always a physical injury. A lot of the time there's an emotional attachment to it, and why we're experiencing pain. So we can use it for chronic pain. It's very good with birthing as well, which is the same thing, because you can create anesthesia. So you can actually have a painless childbirth. You can even do surgery with hypnosis, which is quite incredible. We do it for any type of habit change. So we go through, because that habits is part of the subconscious mind. So there's no point in dealing with that issue with the conscious mind because it's not part of its role. So that's when we go into hypnosis, then we can change habits or find out why someone has a particular habit, take the emotion out of it, and then give the suggestions and why it should change to take on that information. We can use it for phobias. One of the quickest things to sort out a phobia, you can bring someone's feelings up in the phobia with having a panic attack, then you can actually trace through those feelings in hypnosis and go back through the neural pathways and take them back to that first time they experienced that. So what we call that in hypnosis is the ISE. It's the initial sensitizing experience. So that could be a 3-year-old kid that gets scared because a mum panics when she sees a spider, for example, and takes on that information. The subconscious mind goes, whoa, danger. So what happens is we go into a flight, fright or freeze response when we have a phobia, so we can actually bring those feelings up, travel back, find out what's going on there, find out what the experience is for that person. Then we can do the therapy, find out who the players are, different things, and then we can chat to that particular part, that 3-year-old child part, why we don't need to hold on to those feelings and have that panic attack. Then we can actually go back through and we can sort that out. So you can use hypnotherapy for almost anything. I even know hypnotherapists are doing really well with treating clients even with cancer now. Fibromyalgia, we can do all different. It's amazing what different things you can do with hypnosis. Yeah, it's quite a funny thing. When you look around in the way in certain schools that people are trained, they say that this is quite a thing. They say 20% of the population are very highly suggestible for hypnosis. Then there's the people in the middle. Then there's that low 20% that can't be hypnotised. Anyone can be hypnotised. The reason someone can't be hypnotised is if they have a fear or misconception around what hypnosis is. It's like if a client comes into my clinic and they come in, they have a fear that, what's he going to say to me? What's he going to make me do? But he doesn't. But once I explain the misconception around that you have the choice in hypnosis whether to accept the suggestion or not, and the guy goes, oh, right, cool, he can't control me. So then he allows himself to go into trance. So anyone can go into hypnosis. We do it all the time. It's like if you're driving down the road, you're going on a long road trip, you're driving down, the next minute, it's been a few minutes sort of gone by, and you've been in your own imagination. Your subconscious mind goes, well, you're a danger to us, so it takes over driving. So you're actually in hypnosis there. So we go in and out of hypnosis. When we're in a daydream state, we're going into trance because we're in our imagination, which is part of the subconscious mind. So we go in and out. So anyone can be hypnotized. It's just the way you hypnotize someone. If you get a highly analytical person come in, you've got to pick their induction. So if they're highly analytical, they're going to analyze everything you say. So if you're using a slow, take a nice slow and deep breath and relax more and more, deeper and deeper down, they're going to analyze everything you say and they're not going to go in trance. So what you do is you use a rapid or an instant induction, take a sleep, and you shock them into hypnosis and they go straight under. Before that analytical mind has a chance to analyze everything, they don't realize what happened, then they're in the subconscious, then you hit with the suggestions fast to keep them going deeper down into hypnosis. So it's just the type of induction and the pre-talk and getting away any fears. Once you have the type of induction for the person and you take away any fears around hypnosis, the person is going to go straight under, and you're going to get a beautiful working state of hypnosis too.